We're live. We're going to be starting in 30 seconds. Sorry for the delays. Wait, can they hear me? What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday.
Okay, there we go. Boom. It is
We
working.
Gucci?
Everything's set
Wait,
up.
is the camera good?
Yeah, I think the camera's good. I adjusted the lighting. Welcome,
Okay, we're good.
guys, to episode 8
Episode 8.
of 10 Talks. 8 weeks.
Yep.
We've made it 8 weeks already. And,
And if you're new, I'm Rylee.
oh yeah, and if you guys are new, that's Rylee. And I'm Yuriy. It's Rylee G on Instagram.
We are boyfriend and girlfriend, and we live in Los Angeles, and we talk every
and
Sunday
I was born
about
in Russia. I went to. No, we just like going through our freaking past. Okay, so here we go. For some reason, I swear, like it feels like these headphones don't work, but they do work, but just very slightly though.
yeah,
it
they're
tricks
just
you.
really quiet.
Yeah, right. It's like weird.
And
Yo. I don't know.
do you want to switch headphones? I feel like that side is so short compared to mine.
It's fine. What do
Are
you
you
guys
sure?
think? Well, yeah, it's
Is it
fine.
gonna bug you?
No, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah, it's fine. I don't
Before
wanna,
we start, can you pop this open
I don't
for
want to
me?
listen to my voice.
Because my nails are too long right now.
You're right. So today, guys, we do not have any Tito's, so we're drinking Kyla's hard kombucha.
We're trying to stay healthy.
Kyla or Kyla, something like that.
Kyla, I think.
Kyla?
Kyla.
Kyla. Okay, here we go. Boom.
Cheers.
There's yours. How come we get different flavors? I want the same flavor.
Because I thought you would like. I've already tried that flavor, but I thought you would like that flavor. Mine's lavender lemonade, and I
No,
didn't
now
think.
I'm angry because we have different flavors.
Why?
Because you have the better one.
I thought that one was really good. That one's orange flavored.
The grass
I
is
know how
always
you
greener on the other side.
I know how you feel about oranges, so that's why I gave it to you.
You're right. I might have to take a bathroom break after drinking this.
Cheers.
Cheers to episode 8.
Episode 8.
It's interesting.
Mine's definitely.
It doesn't taste alcohol-y. How much alcohol is in this? 6.5%. That's pretty decent, right?
Yeah. No,
Oh
I
my
literally
God, I
get.
forgot to turn that shit off. Jesus Christ. Oh fuck. Okay.
Sorry for this beginning.
Yeah. Okay, guys. This is gonna be the only podcast where we're gonna leave it on the entire time. So TTS is now just on. If you guys donate $3 or more, whatever you fucking donate, it's gonna be right in the fucking podcast. So if you want to be a part of the
It's a
podcast,
free-for-all.
actually that's a good way to be a part of the podcast. If you guys want to be a part of the podcast, add any input or whatever. If you donate now, your message is gonna be read out loud and it's gonna be recorded into the thing and it's gonna be put into the actual episode of 10 Talks. Nothing weird though.
Nothing weird, please. Watch,
Hopefully-
everybody's gonna just be saying some weird ass shit.
Come on, Space Ghost Dog, Perp, and my other mods. Be protective or something like that. I think there's like an option where the mods are able to see donations before everyone else so they can moderate it quicker.
Really?
I'm
Like,
not
do they
sure.
have to approve it?
No, actually, there is options on YouTube where like all TTS donations have to be approved or whatever. But I have it set so that there's like no restrictions. Like I kind of like with the idea of people managing themselves. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and not being restrictive or like a governmental force or something like that.
What is that called? There's a word for it.
Big Brother.
Not Big Brother. I guess kind of like Big Brother, but it's like I don't know.
For
I
what?
forgot the.
It's like
With
dictator.
good in good faith, faith,
Wait,
right?
That's not the word I thought you said dictator.
No, I was just saying like I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry. This is a jumbled ass episode already.
Okay, so I feel like we should start off talking about what we've been up to, because I've done this. I swear I've done this like 10-20 times already, where I'll be like, hey guys, like I'm going live, like I'll be going live in an hour or two, and then boom, I don't go live and I fall asleep or whatever. And I feel like this past
week has been fucking crazy.
Yeah, this past week or two has been super busy and crazy, and I feel like I've been doing that even more and more frequently. For a while I was not doing it at all. Every time I announced that I was go live, I would actually go live. But now, like the past 3 times, I said I was gonna go live, and then something happened and I couldn't go live. So
I know. It's like
that
our
sucks.
days fly by so fast, and like then it's Sunday, and we're like, fuck, like
I
we didn't do
know.
anything we wanted to do.
I know, dude. literally like a month ago, we said we're gonna wash both our cars, and we still
I
haven't
know.
washed either of our
Mine is
cars.
literally
We said we are gonna
covered in
clean out the
bird shit.
garage. We never clean out the. There's so many things we say we need to do, but we just don't have the time
That's
to do.
because Yuri and I both work like so much. And
Basically.
like pretty much like every day like we're doing something for work or like
Dude,
you
like, I
know?
never even like kind of like bother to calculate the hours, but like I go to work at 10 a.m. and then every day, literally, I get home like at 7 or 8, and then like it's probably I don't know how many hours I'm putting in, but the amount of hours I put into No Jumper is the most hours put into any job I've ever had, for sure. You know what I mean? Like even what's a full time job? 60 hours or 40 hours?
40
a week?
hours a week.
Yeah, I for sure do more than 40
Yeah, I think
with
so.
the Tuesday streams and the.
You're there
yeah.
yeah, for a long time. And I'm a hairstylist if anybody doesn't know that. So I've been out of work for like a really long time due to COVID.
And you recently started working again.
Yeah, and I finally started working again. We were shut down like 4 times. And now we're finally back open, but we're like
Do you feel like
we're so behind on people's like appointments. So like it's been busy every single day I'm there.
Really?
And it's just crazy, but it's like I'm so grateful that
You have work.
I have work and I have like a part-time job at No Jumper too. So
Does anyone at your job, like your coworkers, ever bring up like, damn, like all these because of COVID, like how you can't work for a couple months and then you work again? Like, well, it's already it's happened. But do people complain how they're like saying like, dude, I haven't been able to do hair in months. Like now I feel like kind of like not so good at doing hair. Like, or maybe I need to like resharpen my skills or something like that.
That's me as
But
fuck,
are the
babe.
people complaining about it too?
So when Yuri and I were first started dating, I was like doing hair by myself, like in my own little suite kind of thing, and I was actually doing hair. And then I decided to move out to LA, so I was looking for a new salon to do work for. Yeah, work out or whatever. Got hired at a salon, then we got shut down a second time. Oh yeah, so wait. Sorry, redo that. Before I met Yuri, I was working at 2 different salons. I was working in a suite and a blow dry bar.
Uh-huh.
And I came to I came to LA.
I was trying to low-key grab it. Okay, so I remember you were working at a salon and then you were working at a blow dry bar. Then you moved to LA.
Oh no, we were just gonna spend the weekend together, and then the whole lockdown happened or whatever.
Oh, and
so
then you
salons
lost your job because of the lockdown. Yeah.
Yes, so salons
I forgot about
closed, and they thought we were only gonna be out of work for like a month. So I planned on going back to work the next month, but then of course, like it was just a continuous shutdown.
For the first time was the longest, right? It was like 6 months or 7 months.
The first one was the longest. It was from March. I think it was 3 months or 4 months because it was from March to July. I got my second job in July in LA. But the place I was working at in the Bay Area actually had to shut down altogether. They lost the whole building.
That's
so
crazy.
I got really lucky like when I moved out here. Because I was gonna lose my job anyway,
regardless,
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
'cause I remember the reason why you wanted to stay is you were like, I don't know, I have this job, like I can't just up and go.
And I really
leave.
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
really
just
like it.
started.
And I was like, yeah, no, I felt bad telling you like or asking you to be like, hey, I'm quitting my job to move out to this place I've never been before, or stuff like that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So then after
Coincidentally.
once things started slowly opening again in July, I got hired at this other salon in LA. And I worked there for like, I don't know. Maybe
you worked at a different salon before this one, right?
Yes.
And let's not say the name of this one.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the name, but it was in LA-ish area. And I worked there for like, I don't even think I worked there for a month.
I honestly I have no memory even of you working there. I remember you did work at a different salon, but I don't even remember you. Like, I don't remember have any memories of it.
It's when we were still living in downtown, and I was commuting all the way over where the salon was.
And it was in Santa Monica, right?
No, it was in Brentwood.
Oh, it's close to Santa Monica. Okay, now I remember.
Yeah,
yes.
it was closer to.
Now I remember. Yes.
So I was like traveling on time. It was such a weird experience working there because I was only there for like 3 weeks, not even a full month. But then I got sick. When we moved in, I got sick, and she told me that I couldn't. My boss there told me I couldn't come back until I got my COVID test back.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, I had to go to Bakersfield,
and
yeah, it took a long time because this is like the beginning processes of getting tested for COVID, so it took a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no test available, so I had to drive an hour away just to get tested. And while I was waiting for my test results, Trump announces there's going to be another nationwide lockdown, or I think it was just for California maybe. And so LA went into lockdown again.
Mhm.
And once they opened back up, my boss from this salon texted me, and she was like, you know, we can only take 25% capacity now. So we no longer need you. So I was out of work again.
Yeah.
And I was like hunting for a job, and I finally like came across like
the
perfect job for me.
Well, at first you didn't like it.
At first I was not feeling
Yeah,
it, because it's just hard, like just adjusting to a new job, you know, like being a new person.
Well, yeah, like when I noticed that too. Whenever you get a job, it's kind of like, I wouldn't relate it to like having a group of friends, but you kind of like, it's kind of like having to learn how to deal. You're learning how to deal with a whole different group of people. You know what I mean? Like everyone reacts differently to different things, and like when you get a different job, you're always like got know what kind of manager you have, what kind of coworkers you have. So it's like you kind of just like reading your the people you're surrounded by to be like, what am I God damn it, I can't even talk right now. Like. What's ahead of me? You know what I mean? Like I've had
like who are the people I'm gonna be with all the time?
There's certain bosses, like you can sit down at an interview, right? And then like you really want this job. I had this situation happen to me before where like just by talking to my manager, I'm like, I see what kind of job this is gonna be already.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you can already tell by talking to your boss or manager. Usually you're like,
exactly.
okay, this is gonna be one of these situations.
See, when I interviewed with this place and I was talking to my boss now, who's amazing. I knew she was like super passionate about doing hair, so like I really respected that about her, and I just felt like she would be an amazing mentor to me, you know?
Yeah,
like
because she'd inspire you too.
Exactly, make me more motivated, make me more like passionate about what I'm doing. And I remember it was so funny because like the whole time we have to wear a mask during our interview and stuff, and like they're asking me hard ass questions, and I was like, honestly, like I'm sweating underneath this thing, and they just like started laughing. And anyways, yeah, I landed the job, and I really love it. All the girls there are hella cool and stuff, but it's been super busy now because we right after Thanksgiving, right before Christmas, which is our busiest season as hairdressers because people want their hair done for the holidays.
Close down again.
We closed down again for like the 4th time.
Which is like,
Sirens going by.
Imagine having like a business where you kind of rely on a couple months out of the year. You know, like when I worked at Starline, the tour salesman thing, they kind of work like that, where there's certain months out of the year where a bunch of people get laid off. There's only a couple salesmen, and they know, they're like, oh, we're not even gonna be breaking even. Sometimes there's months where they know like, oh, we're gonna make less money this month, we're actually gonna be losing money this month, but in summer we're gonna make like hella, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so imagine like losing those months.
Exactly. And
bro,
so I could tell like
that's crazy.
Coming back, like that's obviously a stressor. It was reported that 60% of salons in Los Angeles had to shut down.
Permanently?
60%, yes,
like,
permanently.
Like they couldn't afford the bills and shit anymore?
So only 40% of salons survived out here, which is crazy. There's so many salons. That's so sad.
I haven't really looked into anyone go into the exact numbers of how many businesses had to close down, but I bet you if we, 60% of salons. Imagine how many of those tour businesses. Imagine how many restaurants. Imagine how many bookstores and like all these places. Like,
random.
Bro, my favorite thing to do in the mall was go to Barnes and Noble, or to go to whatever. There's always these different names for these stores, but to go to that one store that had the massage chairs, you can't even do that shit no more.
Because they're like all caution.
Exactly. It says like, no, we can't sit. Like
nobody
blah, blah.
can sit.
Bro, that was the best shit ever. It was just, that's crazy.
Dude, at the mall back in where I live in Brentwood, streets of Brentwood, all the fucking, remember when we went to drop off Michael at that mall? Mm-hmm. All the there's like this like little playground for kids. Everything was ripped out. Like they don't give a fuck, and it was like brand new.
They're serious because they know that like people are gonna be like, fuck this COVID shit, I'm bringing my kids or whatever. And yeah, dude. And I was bringing this up too. I was watching AD's. I was thinking this thought process went through my head earlier, but I was watching AD's Instagram story earlier. Everyone go follow AD. It's AD with 2 eyes. He basically posted. I'm not sure if you remember this, but do you remember that one? It was an insurance commercial where this guy's like walking down the road with a fucking jean jacket and like a fucking black wife beater or like a black tee on, and then some hot ass girl pulls up in a Corvette. She's like, "Hey, need a ride?" And he's like, "Oh, sure. Are you insured though?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm insured." And he's like, "Are you insured by this company?" And she's like, "No, I'm insured by this company." He's like, "Sorry, I can't take that ride." And then he like walks away. You don't remember this commercial?
No.
Dude, it was like viral back in the
Now
day in the early 2000s.
This is where I wish we had a laptop and we could.
I know we could just bring it up soon. We'll be able to do that soon. But the point I'm trying to make is that commercial was relevant at the time because people were hitchhiking. You know what I mean? Like now people don't hitchhike anymore. Are you good on this joint?
No.
Oh, now people don't hitchhike anymore because people just don't recommend it. Like it's just not popular anymore. But back in the day, people would hitchhike all the time, and then they would have commercials where there's a guy asking for a ride. Basically, it's like hitchhiking commercials. Now you're not gonna see any commercials like that anymore because it's like a thing of the past. I was bringing this up to you the other day where KitKat used to have commercials where it's like the commercial would be like, buy a KitKat, share with a friend. You could break off a piece of a KitKat. You can't do that no more either. You're not supposed to be sharing no food like hand to hand like that because of COVID.
Unless you're quarantined for like 14 days.
Yeah, unless you're
exactly.
I've been quarantined in this this KitKat I found it's a year old. It's perfectly fine. It's preserved. Everything's fine. And we're in an air bubble. Here's this KitKat. It's like you can't even do that no more.
Tell me why
things are gonna change.
2 times in
things are already changing.
Or sorry, I keep saying
I know it's hard.
I keep realizing
after watching some of our old podcasts, we start to realize how poorly we actually put our ideas across. Sometimes we say and what a lot, and at the moment it doesn't sound too bad, but when you listen back to it, you're like, oh my god, I sound so stupid. Why is anyone listening to this?
I'm trying to work on that. Sorry guys.
Me too.
Also, I wanted to say I apologize for the side conversations during the Lucha podcast.
It wasn't your fault.
We were all getting very tipsy, and we were just we're so used to talking in a group like that. Me and Elena, or me and Peach always
we do this all the time. Yeah, Lucha and I will be talking. You'll be talking with
exactly.
With Peach.
So that's just how we are. So I'm sorry. I know it was probably annoying to hear.
It was as it was happening in my head. I was like, dude, Lucha and I are talking right now, and
I knew it too.
And Rylee and Peach are talking. I'm like, dude, I feel like saying something, but I don't want to be that dick to go like, hey, our conversation is more important than your conversation,
also,
or something like that.
I feel like it'd be different if we all had headphones because it really does help.
Exactly. And can I also say that I don't think I mentioned this to you yet, but we have our very first Patreon supporter.
What?
I went to our Patreon the other day just to randomly check, and someone has joined the $5 a month club, which means that we have work cut out for us.
Damn, I wish we had our Tito's.
I know. If we had Tito's, we could just take in a shot right now to celebrate.
We'll take a sip.
Yeah, let's take a sip of this kombucha.
Shout out to our first Patreon.
Shout out to our very first Patreon.
Patron.
Or patron, I guess. Yeah. Patreon or patron. That's
patron,
true.
I think that's what they're called.
Cheers. I've been leaving the link in the description of all of our old 10 Talks. It's basically patreon.com/10talksla. 10 Talks is taken, so I had to put 10 Talks LA. But shout out to our very first Patreon. It doesn't tell you. I think it's anonymous. It doesn't tell you who it is, but a huge shout out to that person, whoever it is.
Should we tell them what each tier gets them?
I don't remember.
Should we pull it up?
This is no. Okay,
I'll pull it up.
Okay, yeah, you pull it up. But this is where having the computer in front of us would be very helpful. But basically,
in the future,
in the future, there's 3 tiers to our Patreon. There's I hate advertising. This is I feel like it's so extra, but basically there's 3 tiers. There's the $5 tier, there's the $10 tier, and I think there's the $15 or $20 tier, and then the 5 one. I forgot what but each one you get something like a bonus piece of content or something, and then the bigger the tier, the more extra content or whatever you get. I forgot exactly what we promised to give or to produce. But
is it 10 Talks?
10 Talks LA. What I do is I do patreon.com/10talksla, and it pops up usually.
Okay.
You found it?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. So this is what we signed our lives off to.
The first one is $5 a month, and it's a shout out at the end of every 10 Talks podcast.
Wait, how can we do shout outs if it's anonymous? I need to go look further to see what the names are.
I feel like there's a way you could.
We're shouting out the person. We don't even know his name.
I know.
We're already fucking up. Okay, no, there's still another episode this month.
Yeah. Once we figure it out, we got a chance to come on 10 Talks via video call. So
this is something we brought up before. Is we like doing interviews with people and talking with our friends and stuff. And
there's a lot of people who've been asking us to come
and but it's mostly people who are like I'm not stupid. A lot of people are hitting me up or hitting Rylee up specifically saying like, "Hey, let me get on 10 Talks."
Yeah,
Just
and
because
it's
they
like,
think it'll make them a little bit closer or more seen by No Jumper or like the rap
Yeah.
industry. It's like, dude,
exactly.
no
and it's
real
not.
like academics doesn't follow, like no real hip hop people follow me. Like I'm
Plus,
like
it's like
trying to curate like an audience of my own, so it's like I'm like looking for to me for like, you know, exposure for your rap career.
it's not gonna come from this.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna,
podcast,
if it's gonna
so-
come from anywhere, it's not gonna come from here. So we were thinking like the best people. We were thinking that the best people to interview
who
would be
are
like,
people who we like.
yeah,
like,
people who
fuck with.
yeah, people who we fuck with, and people who are always watching the streams. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
people, there's people. It trips me out. Like sometimes
know,
I go
it's
back
like-
to our old streams, and there's people who like I still recognize their names. I'm like, oh my god, I only have 10 viewers here, and there's Tashina Tony, you know, still right there. There's Space Goes Dog Perp, still right there. Like when I had 10 viewers
and
back
it's
in the
like
day.
I feel like they're like friends to us. Like
That's what I'm saying.
when I see like like Doug in the chat, like I'm cracking up at everything he says because like I know his humor. You
Yeah,
know? Like
exactly.
I feel like I'm his friend and know
Mhm.
his humor, and like just being Kyle, like everybody, Josh
And-
Codes, everybody.
And
like,
neither of us have done like interviews with people we don't know. It's like the purpose of this for now is kind of to build our podcasting abilities and also like did you hear that?
what?
Oh my god.
Squeak?
I heard a little squeak. Can I just say
And Giselle too. Shout out Giselle.
yeah, shout to Giselle.
She's
Can I
the real one.
Zach Shiken?
Zach Shiken,
Him as
one
well.
of my faves.
Yeah. Can I just say that the last episode we
Oh,
did
yeah,
we
guys.
did 10 talks. Then on the after show we cooked burgers on this table right here.
Listen to this.
And then I cleaned everything up or whatever. Lucha and Peach left, and then like Rylee and I were just chilling. And then I was like, wait, let me go outside just to double check. I grabbed all my, you know, electronic equipment. I just turn, and I usually like open the door slowly and stuff. And this time I just like boom, turn on the light, open the door super quick for some reason, and then boom, I see a fat ass rat just right here. He like looks over at me, freaks out, like
my worst nightmare.
runs this way, starts like running in circles, climbs onto this thing, runs up, and then like hops into the bushes. And then at that point I realized like, oh fuck, like these, not only do we just live near rats, but we already knew rats were around here, but these fools are walking all over our shit. So before we started the episode today, I cleaned everything with rubbing alcohol, 70%. So hopefully all the bacteria is
I
dead.
know. Yuri was like, I went to the store the other day and he was like, you have to get rubbing alcohol for us, please. 2 big bottles. And as soon as I walked in Target, like that's where my eyes went straight towards. Like I saw the hydrogen peroxide and then I saw the alcohol. But it was like 70%. I was like, fuck, is it supposed to be 99%?
You can't find that anymore. Dude, even before COVID,
Really?
finding 99% is very difficult. I used to always
I
look
was
for
like
it because
70%. That's kind of random.
yeah, it's
I never bought it though.
you
I
can
guess.
you basically they I'm not sure if it's a law, but it's basically a rule now that you can only find 90 or 99% if you're like a nurse or if you're if you're affiliated with the medical industry at all, but everyone else just gets 70%. But that 90% and 99% cleans your bong so good, dude. If you just throw some salt and some 99% ISO in your bong and shake it up, bro, in 5 minutes it's like brand new. You can't do that no more because of COVID.
Wow.
Gotta deal with that 70%.
Remember in the beginning of COVID when like, so Yuri used to live right across the street of a CVS. So we would walk to CVS
Not
all the
really
time.
across the street,
Yeah,
but-
we would have to walk down this big hill and then walk back up the hill, and
It was basically a full ass workout just to go there.
But it was cool. It was a good walk
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
But I remember in the beginning stages of COVID when signs on the door first said like you have to wear a face covering to come in the store. Remember?
And we were
and
like,
we're like,
whoa.
what the fuck?
You have to wear
like,
face
we were
covering now?
pissed.
Yeah, we weren't pissed. We were just like, damn,
We're like,
that's
this
crazy.
is stupid. Like,
Mhm.
really?
And now it's just normal. Now
Yeah,
it's just
now
like,
it's
oh
like
fuck, you need your
have
mask.
to. And like everybody has cute ass masks and like hella nice designed. I'm kidding.
That's crazy.
I know, but I remember like seeing that the first time with you, and we're like, what the fuck? Because like she was like, you can't come in.
I
unless
know.
You have
I
a
remember
mask.
that.
And I was like, thank God I have these masks.
Dude, that's so crazy. Hell,
I
and that's what I'm saying
know.
is like in the babe, like in the future, seeing a KitKat commercial where some dude's breaking off a KitKat from his homie, that's never gonna happen again, dude. Like ever. Like I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if like this is good for us, if we should be more like distant and more like, you know, less touchy of each other. But then like I kind of like just think our upbringing, like most of our genetics are based on like us living as cavemen and shit. Like we've spent more years as cavemen compared to spending years in like a city, you know what I mean? So like our bodies and our genetics are more used to just living off the land, and that means like touching people, hugging people, you know what I mean? Like all types
playing on playgrounds, like
all
you have
types
to
of
build your
dirt.
immune system.
Exactly. So like I'm wondering if this is bad for us in the long run. Like imagine in the future people just don't even have any like immunity to anything because they've never been exposed to enough bacteria. That would be crazy.
That's what we were just talking about at work. We talk about this all day at work because, you know, we see hella people a day and everybody's just talking about how crazy the year has been due to COVID and shit. So we talk about this all fucking day long.
I know.
But it's like, yeah, like nobody is going to be immune to anything because everybody's going to be trapped in a fucking bubble. Like, you need to play on a playground. You need to be coughed
You know
on.
who's not going to be trapped in a bubble? This is something...
Bubble Boy? Remember that movie?
Yeah, I never watched the movie or heard of it.
That's what I feel like.
This is something I tried to watch with you, but it's very hard and difficult to watch because you have to pay attention for 3 hours, and there's, like, I think 5 of them. But Joe Rogan does interviews with this guy called Graham Hancock, who wrote some of my favorite books I have not read yet. They're my favorite just because I like the concept.
This is my babe.
I read half of one of them. And I actually own both of them. Shout out to Chris for giving me one for my birthday. But in Graham Hancock's theory, right? He basically says that civilization goes way back further than what common schools teach you or whatever. Schools will say tell you like, oh, 5,000 years ago we were building pyramids and shit. And what he's trying to say is like, no, like 200,000 years ago we were probably just as advanced as we are now, if not more advanced, because we're able to build crazier structures, like because no one's able to recreate the pyramids and stuff like that.
I was just about to say like the fucking pyramids.
And there's even more. There's like I forgot the names of the sites.
No, like the shit they fucking used to do, like fucking burying people and shit.
Dude, there's
like,
even crazier sites where
gold.
there's giant rocks that are literally they weigh like 5, 6, 5. Like I'm telling you, I think I've showed you this before, but it's kind of hard to understand unless you're there. And for me, I kind of just understand because I'm really trying to like listen to the words carefully. But there's like
super into it.
There's like a place where there's a giant rock wall, and this rock wall is made out of these giant boulders, and some of these boulders are so huge that they weigh like basically as much as your house, if not more. And these boulders like fit together like a puzzle piece for like 2-3 miles down, like a whole thing. And so basically these people were able to move these giant ass boulders that weigh fucking ridiculous amounts before heavy machinery, before like engines and like cranes and all that stuff. They're able to move these giant ass rocks, shape them into like these perfect pieces and put them to like, it doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? Like it's literally insane. So I forgot why
they started, I don't know, they started the fucking structure of things, but now it's like our generation is computer shit.
This brings me back to the point I was trying to make. Is so he was trying to basically, he was saying that civilization goes way back further than what common teachers and like common knowledge teachers or whatever. And what he's saying is that knowledge or that technology, something was lost through some cataclysmic event where almost 99% of people died, and the only people to survive are the people in the middle of the forest that don't even know anyone. And like, if they're the ones to survive, they're the ones that are gonna continue the storyline, and they don't know anything about fucking laptops and Best Buy and fucking like what we're doing here.
It's that natural instinct. Like look at fucking Lola. It's that natural.
Well, Lola's gonna die if we were not here to protect her.
But it's like it's crazy to see her like, like just doing things that a fucking cat in the wild would fucking do. Like just to like protect itself.
There's certain natural instincts that people are born with, like
exactly, and it's crazy that we're just super domesticated.
You would think so, but like there's like studies that show how like,
I guess it's depending on how you're raised.
If you throw a baby in the fucking water, babies immediately fucking start doing this. You know what I mean? Like it's like boom, that's already like a natural instinct, like to like be like, no, I don't want to fucking die. Like I want to swim, like or like be able to breathe. That
happened to both of my little brothers.
Drowning as a baby?
Yep, Michael slipped in the hot tub as a baby.
Oh my god!
Because we used to have a pool in the backyard and a hot tub, and I think Michael fell in the hot tub, or he fell in the deep end. I don't remember.
Wait,
I think Jordan fell in the deep end.
You're not even supposed to be in a hot tub under the age of 10 because it supposedly softens your bones because the water's too hot.
Well, it wasn't on hot.
Okay.
It was just like it's like fucking. It was like a built-in pool with a hot tub.
I'm not trying to call you out.
No, it wasn't hot. It was just fucking. It was just there.
Okay.
And so like that's where he would go because he was a smaller child,
Ooh.
you know. So he'd go
Just
in the hot
in the
tub.
pool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he fell in the middle
No,
of
I used to go in
it.
the hot tub all the time as a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know this rule until every time I went to Big Bear or something.
I always went in the hot tub, but I
Exactly.
don't even remember.
One time I went to Vegas,
How old
right?
Michael
And then
was.
like me and my homie Victor were trying to go in the hot tub, and we were stopped, and some person was like,
You're supposed to be like 16, right?
some person was like,
In
hey,
there.
like,
Or
you're not-
13.
Yeah, they're like telling us that like if you're under the age of this age, it softens your bones, and your bones are gonna break,
Oh,
and
I
they're like
didn't know it
scaring us,
softened
and
your
we're like, we're never
bones.
going in a hot tub again.
But I know like everywhere, like in a hotel, like in all hotels, it says
must be
like 16.
Yeah, it's
you
apparently
know?
because it's bad for you, but I don't know how truthful that is.
It's just because it
gonna
gets super hot, and
how-
you could probably pass out if you're like
Yeah, maybe that.
dehydrated. Or
But I
something.
doubt it's gonna like that's what I was told.
Yeah,
that's
that's
gonna soften
stupid.
your bones, and I'm like, bro,
A
there's
security
that
guard
does not.
said that?
Yeah, like some security guard. I'm like, bro, there's no way that's true.
The fuck?
Like if you fucking boil a chicken, its bones are still hard, dude. There's no way me chilling in a hot tub or my bones are gonna get softer.
No.
Sorry to cut you off. What was the point of your story?
I don't even know what I was talking about now.
You know what I really want to talk about is what happened last night. It's like
Talking about like COVID and what we've been doing
yeah, exactly.
during
Talking
COVID.
about COVID and like what to do during COVID and stuff, or the effects of COVID on our life. Last night was Saturday night, and I was just chilling on my computer. I was honestly itching to play Rust, and Rylee was like, "Let's do something
Well,
tonight."
I wanted to just do something because we haven't done anything.
Exactly,
in
and
a
that's
long
why in my
time.
head I was like, okay, Riley's right. Like this whole past 2 weeks we've been doing nothing but working and streaming and doing other stuff. So I
Like
was
we've
like,
just been so busy and haven't had time to ourselves.
yeah, time to ourselves just to hang out together, like we used to. So basically that's what I was saying. She's like, let's do something this Saturday. So I started looking up on my computer, like, what should we do? Then I remembered AD said that Stranger Things, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Stranger Things is. It's like a Netflix show.
About aliens.
About
and shit.
yeah, I don't know. It's like
80s.
yeah, it's like 80s aliens, but everyone knows what Stranger Things is. Basically, Stranger Things has this thing in LA where it's a drive-through event. It takes an hour, and we didn't really know what it was, but turns out it's basically like a play where it takes you through 3 or 4 different sections
In
and
like
then-
a parking garage.
Yeah, in a parking garage, and the whole way you're going, everything's decorated. There's
It's
music.
tricked the fuck out, though.
You're tuned into a radio station,
It
so you're
looks
fully
legit.
immersed the whole time. Yeah,
Like you're in the show.
it's super sick.
It's so cool.
And then like they're basically at each one of the stops, there's gonna be like a little mini play where actors are like acting out this like little portion of like whatever. Is it exactly for what happens in the show?
Yeah, like different scenes. I think the scenes that they're portraying are from season 3.
3 that you haven't watched all the way.
But every time you're going through a stop, they kind of show a video of like
From the
season
show.
1 through season 3.
Oh
you
really?
know?
Yeah, you're right. They did show some recaps of season 1.
And the
That's
last stop, like the finale, they did all the seasons.
Mhm. Honestly, there's if you've never watched Stranger Things and you went through that, there's no way you're gonna get an idea
Yeah,
of the
you'd be
storyline
so
at all. You'd be
confused.
so confused, but you'd be like, "This is sick," because it was actually really cool.
It was super cute.
But so before we even got there, so Riley's like saying, I brought up, I was like, hey, well, let's try to get the Stranger Things tickets, and
And
Riley's
I'm like, how much is it? I heard it was like very
yeah,
expensive.
because I remember AD saying that he got tickets, and he said he couldn't go, and he's like, oh man, that's $240 down the drain. And in my head, I was like,
That's a Disneyland ticket.
yeah, in my head, I was like, oh fuck, this shit's expensive. I was like, I don't know how much it's gonna be, so I was looking it up, and it's basically $60 for, I think it's $60 for 4 people, right?
I don't remember how much it was.
It's either $60 for 2 people. I'm not exactly sure. It's not that expensive. I think for 2 people it's $60, and then if you want 4 people in a car,
It's probably like 100.
it's like 100. The ticket we got was 160, and it was for 4 people. So was it VIP? I'm so like
I don't know.
Basically,
We don't know.
so as I was on the website of the Stranger Things event, and I was trying to find tickets, the only tickets available was for today at like 5 p.m.
Yeah, the
and
next day, and we're like, we're gonna do 10 talks.
we're like, we have to do 10 talks, and like we won't be able to do it. And then Riley's like, hey, like sometimes if I can't find tickets, like it's sold out, I'll go on Craigslist and like search it up.
Like,
and I've done that, and she's done that before,
yeah,
or whatever.
I've found all my tickets I've ever been to on Craigslist.
Really?
Like, I always meet up with people and like do it off Craigslist.
I've heard.
Is that sketch? That's so sketch.
I was gonna say in my life.
My
Maybe it's because I've lived in Hollywood, but I've heard nothing but stories of fools like, bro, I just scammed this person on
No,
Craigslist.
like,
Bro, I
I'm
just
a
scammed this person on
Craigslist-
eBay. Like,
I'm a Craigslist expert. Like,
Really?
I can tell. I know what's a real post and what's a fucking fake post. Like, I can tell what's a real post.
have you seen?
But this
Okay,
post,
no.
I was like, I don't fucking know. It's too good to be true. Like,
Exactly.
you
In
know?
life, the number one rule you learn is if things are too good to be true, 99.99%, it's usually is. It's some.
yeah, I was
it's
like, this is weird.
if you guys,
I'm telling you, these tickets were like $200, and I
Yeah.
saw a post that said, "Free tickets tonight to
yeah, so
Stranger
Rylee
Things."
starts looking up on Craigslist for Stranger Things tickets, and then you were just scrolling through and saw.
And I was like, it said free tickets tonight to Stranger Things, and I was like, okay, this is probably a fucking scam.
Was it like all caps or something?
Yeah,
it
and
was.
so I clicked on it, and it was like, I saw the paragraph, and I like saw how it was typed out. I was like, okay, this sounds like a legit person, because at the end it was like, just text me at this number.
What did it say? What
so
did it
usually
say?
when they say text me and it has like the option to text the person at their number, like linked attached to it,
Uh-huh.
it's legit. Like, they wouldn't put their fucking phone number out there if it was a scammer, you know?
That's true. But did they list the price or anything, or did they just say
No, it just said free.
free
'cause she
Stranger
was
Things
like-
tickets? Because we didn't mention this
she
yet.
was
We
like,
didn't mention the fact that they're free yet.
No, I did. I said
Okay.
the post said free
Free Stranger.
ticket.
Okay.
Yeah. Because every other post was like $150, like $200, you know?
Which we were already
We were like,
considering.
we were down to
we were like,
do.
okay, $150.
Fuck
Like,
it.
fuck, we haven't gone out in a while. Like, it's expensive, but okay, like, it will be worth it just to hang out for one night
And
or
so
whatever.
the post said like, can't make it tonight. Like, just want somebody to enjoy these tickets. Text me if you want them. And I checked the date, and it was for that night. And it said 7 p.m. tonight, and it was like 5:30.
Yeah,
And this was in downtown.
it was 7:30.
7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It
this
was 5 p.m. when we saw it, and it was 7:30.
So I was like, babe, just text text this girl. Her name's Michelle.
And then as soon as you told me this, I was like, in my head, I was like, no.
Shout out Michelle.
I was like, this is.
Watching
As soon as you
this.
told me, like, oh, this guy's like, oh, this person's like offering us or offering whoever free tickets. In my head, I was like,
You're like, this is a
this
scam, blah, blah, blah.
What was going through my head was
He
like,
was
this
so
is a
nervous.
scam where they find your phone. Because honestly, with certain information from a person, it's not that difficult to kind of like start like trying to sneak into their shit. So I was thinking like, okay, this is a person who will either be able to find either my IP address or some sort of thing by clicking on this link, you know, for the phone number or whatever. So
Yeah.
and then I was thinking just by calling them, it confirms another thing. So I was already all this shit was going through my head about how this is like a coordinated plan to like steal my information or fucking like buy shit off my credit card or something. So, but we were just like saying fuck it. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna text this person.
We're in the fucking mood.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
we
So
took a couple
I said,
shots.
I forgot what I said. I said like, hey, I'm texting you about the Stranger Things tickets, and then she, what honestly,
automatic. I was
yeah.
like, okay, this might be a fucking scam.
exactly what threw me off. No, not only the
So
I
this
I
is
texted
what threw me off too.
I texted the number. I was like, hey, I'm texting you about the Stranger Things tickets, and then not only did I get a text back, it was like I pressed send, and then like it was like
God.
1, 2, ding, and then like instantly sent another. I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck? And then in my head, I was like, there's no one that types that fast. Like, you can't type this. It said like,
Dude,
it said
I
like,
know.
hey, like, thanks for hitting me, blah, blah, blah. It was like a whole 2 sentences. And I was like, there's no way someone texts me all this shit in like
I
one.
was like, okay, this is definitely like an
A scam,
automatic.
an automatic thing. So in my head, I was like, okay,
Mhm.
Rylee, okay. I was like, this is for sure a scam. And then,
It said-
let me just go through the text.
Yeah, do the text.
Let me look through the text.
Because, dude, the whole like chain of events was so like we did not know if it was real or not
I
until
know,
we got
exactly.
there.
Okay, so my first text was, hey, I'm texting you about the Stranger Things tickets. Actually, no. I was lying. So I said, hey, I'm texting you about the Stranger Things tickets. Boom, instantly get a reply. Like a second later, it says, want them? ? Exclamation point. And I was
We're
like,
okay, she's eager.
and I'm like, who texts with the ? Exclamation point?
Yeah,
That's
this is weird.
strange. And then I said, yes, ? And then it says, great, ! And then she just texts me. It says her first name and last name, and it's like a fucking referral code.
No,
or
she
just,
called you.
no, no. No. And
then
after
she
after she
called
says
him.
great, she calls me.
And she answers, and she sounds skittish as fuck.
Yeah, she's like, hello?
hello. I was like, oh my god, she's definitely like on crack or something.
It sounds like she was running away from something. She was like, hello? You're calling about the Stranger Things tickets? And I was like, oh my god. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
scared.
And then she's like, oh, sorry, like, I'm out
on
of breath.
A run. And then she's like, I'm on a run. And I started laughing. I was like, oh my god. Like, she sounded crazy for a second, but that makes so much sense.
It honestly makes sense that she replied so quickly because she's probably had adrenaline running. Her fingers are moving quickly.
Yeah.
She was like, tick, 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 tick,
and
like.
so I started laughing. I was like, oh my god, that makes so much sense.
And then so basically I talked to her. I explained to her that like Rylee and I are looking to go do this thing. She's like, oh yeah, like I live in Santa Ana. I won't be
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. She's like, I won't be able to make it. So she's like, I can text you this it's like a scannable thing, QR code.
She's like, I just want somebody to have them.
But the problem with this QR code is once you scan it in the app, it's you scan it and then it like the app recognizes that it was scanned, and then it gives you another option that says like validate or something like that. And then she texts me back. She's like, hey, like it might give you this validate option. So she asked me for my email, that sends me the email thing. And then this whole time I was in my head, I was like, this is too good to be true. I was like, right now Rylee and I are gonna drive all the way to downtown LA from where we live, which is like a 20-30 minute drive. I was like, we're gonna drive all the way out there. People are either gonna, this is either a prank just to waste our time, because honestly when I was 12-15 years old, this is the type of shit I would do. I'd just be like, oh, I made someone waste their time for no reason. So I thought either that was gonna happen, or I thought that not only was that gonna happen, but while we were wasting our time driving there and back, that's when they're hacking our information, so we can't like do anything about it. So I was like, fuck, we're really risky, rolling the dice here. So anyways, Rylee and I go, we get to the place, we drive through the thing.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna add this because when she was talking to Yuriy and I, once she caught her breath.
Yeah.
She sounded like a normal mom.
Yeah,
like
she did.
just wanting.
She sounded young.
Yeah, she just wanted to like give her tickets away because she couldn't enjoy them. So like I
honestly,
trusted her
honestly,
voice.
what a nice person, because like
I'm an auditory person and I trusted her voice. You know.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I trust her. Like.
Honestly, it's like
she's legit. She wouldn't sound like that.
So Rylee and I went. There's more to the story. This is not where it ends. There's Rylee and I went. We ended up getting there's like 2 checkpoints where they have to check your tickets. We got through both of them, and then boom, that's it. Once we got in, I was like, holy shit. That's when I posted the story on my Instagram post. I was like, oh my god, this actually worked. And I was like, dude, what a nice fucking lady. Her name was Michelle. So huge shout out to Michelle.
Shout out to Michelle.
She took the time. Like, if you were gonna do that, if
you're like a good ass person, like a nice.
There's been moments where you and I with the massages where we get like massages on what's it called? Groupon, and then we can't do it, or something happens. Oh, COVID happened, so we couldn't get the massage, or like something happens where like we can't do it. Instead of posting on Craigslist going like, hey, we have this Groupon massage, does anyone want to use it? We're like, let's try to get our money back, like blah blah blah, let's try to see how we can get our money back.
We're fucking greedy.
And then she's like
so sweet.
But I think it's because the Stranger Things situation is non-refundable. I feel like once you buy the ticket, they're like, hey,
so that means that we have to pay it forward, babe. We have to do something nice for somebody else.
For who? No, I'm kidding.
We should buy somebody's food behind us. Or a drive-through.
That's so random.
That's nice.
We just turn around. It's like fucking 6 football players.
It's like fucking.
They're just all hungry as fuck. They're just like, bro.
It's like $300.
I know, exactly. It's like a $300 to $500 thing. We're like, oh my, like, babe. I would have just spent the $150 on the Stranger Things tickets.
Anyways,
hey, yeah.
So we arrived.
Can I just say that
this was legit.
Before you even. Okay, so we've done, I think, about 6 or 7 drive-through, because of COVID, now you can't go to any events, obviously, so there's a lot of drive-through experiences that, people are working on, different companies are working on. We've done Halloween events, Christmas events. We did an EDC one. I did a live stream about that one. You guys can go check it out on my channel. It was actually,
so fun.
It was really fun. I want to do a recap of that, like a recap video of that. And then we did the Stranger Things one, and honestly, they're getting better and better every time. I feel like they're starting to realize like we can't just put some snowmen up. Yeah, we can't just be like, oh, look at these snowmen. I'm driving by. No, you got to make it look cool. You know what I mean? Like people are spending the money, and people are already like missing out on so much. Like you have to make it compare to standing in a crowd going like woo,
and
like
people
or some
will
shit.
pay the price
exactly.
to go to these
if
events.
It's good enough.
So this is the smart industry to get into.
Yeah, if you have a huge parking lot.
Should we create a show?
What in here? People have to walk in like a square. Hey guys, the 5-minute show.
Anyways.
Come this way. Meet Lola. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Back to the story.
Okay, so
we arrived to the event.
The first section you get into is like the waiting section because it's an hour event, so they have to have like some sort of like wait, and there's a chance for you to buy some snacks and shit like that. And we actually, I forgot to bring it, but we bought this like lunchbox. That's what's the Millikins or Wilkins?
Oh yeah, we bought like a lunchbox.
What's the high school?
Winston High School?
Whatever high school was from Stranger Things. They had a bunch of merch from that high school, and
so
we got like
Beckett, let's get the
yeah, we got a lunchbox. It was a $40 lunchbox.
I'm pissed,
it came with a tiny it came with a tiny little popcorn bag,
that's cold.
Yeah,
it's
two
not even
yeah,
like
not
fresh.
Hot popcorn. Yeah, two cold popcorn. I mean one cold popcorn bag.
That's vacuum sealed.
Two sour candies, which Sour Patch Kids. Two
Tropical
small
flavored.
packs of Sour Patch Kids, tropical
Tropical
flavored. And then what was the last thing we got? And then a KitKat, a giant KitKat. So imagine spending
and a water bottle that's literally
oh yeah, I can't forget. We got a water bottle and a Coca-Cola.
Off-brand water bottle.
I know.
That's like tiny. It's not even a. I thought I was gonna get like a nice like liter size.
Dasani at least. I don't even like Dasani.
I know. I thought it was gonna be a Dasani, but it was just a small water bottle and a Coca-Cola. But it was $40.
Which at the end of the day, you're paying for the box. You know what I mean? So it's just like
but
it's
it
like
was $40. Like that's too much.
Yeah, it was very expensive. You could do it for. They need to make their money somehow. It could have been $20 for sure. 100% it could have been $20.
That's like a $5 box right
but
there.
Anyway, while you're so it's like literally a bunch. It's like maybe 5-6 rows of cars, and in each row is like 10 cars, and you're waiting there slowly for them to let you in so you can be a part of the next group or whatever. And some lady walks around putting stickers on your car saying like you're part of group A, group B, and shit like that. And while you're waiting, like we were waiting in that line for like 30 minutes or something like that.
3 people tell us, roll your windows up. We're trying to crack the windows because we want to smoke.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Obviously, during the experience.
Yeah, so they make you close all the windows.
So we're trying to open the sunroof crack.
My sunroof can either open all the way or you can open it just like an inch. It's like literally nothing. Dude, a bug can barely fit through that shit.
Everybody's like, gotta put your sunroof down.
And then some dude like came up to me. He's like, close the sunroof, and I was like, what? And then he was like standing there like would not walk away.
Will, like raise it up.
And like yeah, he would not like yeah. They're super serious about keeping your windows closed, and on top of it, they said keep your windows closed and keep your mask on. Yeah, so you have to keep your windows closed and keep your mask on inside your car or whatever. What's annoying about that is during some of these stops in the experience, they specifically tell you like you have to turn off your car. And then you're stuck in a car with the windows closed and the mask on, and you're like, bro, I can't even fucking breathe in here. Like, if I had breathing problems, I'd have them right now. Like, I'd be fucking suffering.
Like, during the first one, I was, like, starting to get claustrophobic because it was, like, kind of a tight area.
Yeah, it was getting hot in the car and shit.
I was like, oh, my God.
Honestly, yeah, I agree.
That's why I turned it on, because I was like, I can't deal with this. Like,
yeah, it's like, I'd rather get yelled at. It's like, fuck this. So, but can I... Oh, I want to say that while we're waiting in this section... We've done like I said 6 or 7 drive-through events. This one we had like maybe like there was like 3 or 4 security guards, but they kept walking in zigzags like past all the cars, and as they were walking they were like like looking through all the windows trying to see what's in your car, and I was just like, what, like are these guys cops? Like what are these guys doing? Like are you just going through a check? Like is this like a fucking checkpoint? Like what the fuck is this?
It took like an hour to get into, right? Like almost like a half an hour.
What I'm wondering is like
at least
what are they looking for? Are they looking? You know what I noticed though? There's 2 things I noticed. Is
I'm okay with them checking for shit. That's fine.
Yeah, but the way they were doing was so aggressive. It felt like even cops shouldn't be that aggressive. I feel like they were so like looking into your shit, and I'm wondering, are they looking for number one weapons or bombs or something like that, something stupid like for like some idiot trying to do some crazy shit, or are they looking for camera equipment because you're not allowed to film the experience? Because I heard on the radio, because you're tuned into a certain radio channel, I heard the dude say like, don't film this, blah blah blah.
I seen the security telling people to cut their cameras.
Really?
Yes.
So good thing we didn't live stream it.
I know.
I was gonna stream it, but Rylee was like, "No, let's just have a day to ourselves." And I was like, "You're right." I was like, "Every time we hang out, I always stream it." And
I'm the type of person that like never takes pictures during experiences.
I know. You can tell by your Instagram. You don't post ever.
I know, but like I just like to enjoy moments,
So, in this security portion where you're waiting for your snacks and like they're checking your car and shit. until you're waiting to actually start the actual Stranger Things experience. That took like 30-40 minutes. We drank a Coca-Cola, or I drank a Coca-Cola, I drank some other shit. Before we even started, I'm like telling Rylee, I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to pee soon. I'm like, fuck, like there's no bathrooms. And then like once you start the experience, they take you through a garage where you can't even, there's nowhere to go for a bathroom. Like if you leave, like you're gonna miss it basically by the time you get back to the fucking wherever you're supposed to go. So you basically can't use the bathroom. We went through, I think, 1 or 2 of the stops. It was pretty cool. And then we get to this one section
I'm
where
like, really, this very high budget production.
don't
They don't have
bathrooms.
one bathroom.
I feel like
stop?
each level
because
they should have
the
bathrooms.
Electric Mile had bathrooms.
Yeah, right?
And that was smart.
I feel like they could have easily put bathrooms on each level where someone could just
They
get
should
out the
have
car.
one bathroom stop. Like, okay, this is intermission. Like,
Yeah, they should have told us,
you
like,
know?
hey, this is about to be an hour.
porta potties.
Yeah, so go. They're ready to sell us snacks, but not ready to tell us to go use the bathroom.
Yeah, sell your fucking merch. Make
It-
us buy more shit that we
I
don't
know.
fucking need.
Imagine they sell like in-car bathrooms, like so you could pee in your car. They're like, hey, we don't
Well,
have any
okay,
bathrooms, but you can buy
okay,
this.
so listen to this,
I know. I was gonna
guys.
get into that. I was
Okay.
gonna get into that. I was
So
gonna,
Yuri
that's what I was
is
trying to get to.
fucking about to piss his pants.
So I'm telling Rylee the whole time, like, I really have to use the bathroom. There's nowhere to go. We get to the section where it's like a Russian section where there's like all these Russian security guards walking around,
fucking
and they're
like
like
military scary.
yeah, they're dressed up in military clothes, looking inside your cars. They're trying to scare you
Like-
and freak you out. And
like
and
aggressive.
and the Stranger Things characters are like running. It's like a whole play you're watching, and you're parked up in this like one little section. And Rylee and I are just like parked there, sitting, waiting, watching the show. And I'm telling Rylee, I'm like, dude, like,
Can you? He was like, babe, can you chug that water right now?
yo, yeah, because you had a
'Cause-
water bottle.
And I was like, no, I had like half of it filled, and I was like, I know we're gonna like smoke during this. Like, I need to save this.
Yeah.
This little tiny water.
Did you know what I was
got.
going at when I asked for that?
Yeah.
You already knew?
Obviously, I knew you were gonna fucking do that.
I
I
was
knew
like-
you were gonna do that.
I was like, dude, I haven't done this since I was like
so
7.
then I'm like, I'm like, fuck, like I need to find something for Yuri to piss, and that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
this water bottle.
And luckily, we don't clean our cars often.
And I looked on the floor, and of course I see a water bottle, and I hand it to Yuri. I was like,
And it was a giant Smart Water. So I was like, yes, I
I
have
was
a
like-
huge piss.
I was like, no, but I have this.
Yeah. And then, oh,
You're
okay,
like,
so
perfect.
so as we're sitting there and like we're finding the water bottle, all this shit goes on. Not only are the Russian security guards walking by, looking at you and like trying to fuck with you, but there's actual like they're actual security guards, but they're also like playing a little bit
Yeah,
into
they're, like,
the
playing
role.
around.
But they're also kind of like walking around also on top of the first dudes who like are looking inside your cars. These second dudes are walking around looking inside your cars and also like have these light things and they're trying to scare you on top of it.
And Yuri's driving, and I'm in the passenger seat.
Yeah, so at this point I'm driving, Riley's in the passenger seat. These 2 dudes, and you could tell that they're homies, they work together, and these 2 dudes, they come up to our car and they start like fucking with Rylee and I. At this point we have the joint spark, so I'm like being all low key and we're being all sus with these fools. And they're like, so these guys already, we have an experience, like a little moment with these 2 dudes where they're fucking with us, and they recognize our faces,
They know
recognize
we're smoking.
I think they know we're smoking, and they
Yeah.
recognize the situation that I'm in the driver's seat, Riley's passenger, and then they walk away. I'm like telling Rylee, I'm like, hey, this is the moment. I'm like, I really need to pee, and I don't want to do it in the passenger seat because there's all these lights going on. People are gonna see what's going on, and the fucking security guys are like just walking up, looking down into your car. So I was like,
Being
hey,
crazy.
I was like, I'm gonna go in the back seat because I have some tinted windows and I have this black bag. So I was gonna cover myself with the black bag and just like try to pee into this bottle. So I fucking jump into the back seat. Rylee jumps into the driver's seat. I have the bottle ready, and then this little section of the play is about to come to the end. So I'm telling Rylee, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna wait for this to end, and then once you start driving, and because it's like a little bit of a drive to the next section, I was like, I'm gonna do it along the way because that's when no one's actually walking up to your car and fucking with you. So I was like, that would be the perfect moment. And as I'm waiting for Rylee to start driving, I'm sitting in the back. These same 2 dudes come back up to the car, and they came to like fuck with us or scare us, and then they realize like.
I was.
That she's sitting in the driver's seat. I'm sitting in the back, and one of the dudes goes,
Like they're pointing to you.
and he's like,
What the fuck
like
is
what's
going
what's
on?
happening? And like they have masks on. We
They're
have the
like, "What's
window
going
closed, and we have
on?"
masks on, and we're trying to like.
And I was just laughing.
I
was
know,
like,
and the whole time I'm laughing too. I'm like, bruh. And then so there's 2 of these security guard dudes, right? And then there's like one short guy, one tall guy. The tall guy goes like, basically he's not saying anything, but he's like kind of like mimicking or like miming it basically. And he goes to his security guard homie. He goes, He goes, oh, that guy's in the back. You hop in the passenger seat. You go in the passenger seat. And this guy's like, okay, I'm going in the passenger seat. And then he wasn't trying, but he was pretending to try to open the door handle. And he was pretending like he couldn't do it. He was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I was just dying laughing.
Why didn't you protect me?
I knew they weren't going to do it because of COVID and shit. I knew they were just fucking around. But in my head, I was just like, bro, like, I'm just trying to pee. And at this point also, my pants are down and I had my dick sticking out my boxer hole, and I was just like I had my dick out my boxer hole with the bottle there, and these fools are doing this whole thing where they're like realizing that I'm in the back, and I'm just like dying laughing, like, this is the worst situation ever possible. Luckily,
I was like, oh my god, like he's like gonna fucking like get us out of here, like he's trying to like kick us out. I thought he was telling me to roll the window down
because we were smoking or whatever,
yeah.
right? Oh
and
my
I was
god.
like, oh my god, he has his fucking dick out and he's gonna kick us out.
So
this is fucking awkward.
We passed this
And I
whole
was like,
situation. We finally start driving along to the next section. I'm like, okay, here's my chance. I start trying to put my dick inside the fucking bottle hole, but the bottle hole is too small, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try to make it like a perfect seal on it and just pee in there. So I make the seal, and then like it takes me like a minute, but I start peeing, and then I'm like, okay, like, and then in my head I'm like, I swear in my head I'm like, this is going too smoothly. I was like, I don't believe it in my life. Like,
Same.
I was like, nothing goes this smoothly. I'm like, some shit's gonna happen. And then
I was like, oh, he hasn't fucked up yet.
and then in my head I'm like, dude, okay, I'm like, this is going too smoothly. Halfway through filling up the bottle, I'm realizing, I'm like, oh wait, my boxers are getting warm. I'm like, oh no, I'm like, there's a leak somewhere. I'm fucking spilling hella pee all over myself.
I would still.
Well, you're a different story. A guy should be able to pee inside a bottle, I feel like, pretty easily. But anyway, so
It's so hard.
I fucking fill up a smart bottle of water is like this big. I fill up like 75% of it, or like half of it. I fill up so much of it, and I was just like, oh.
Thank God you peed in that one. Imagine if you peed in the
I would need 2 of them, bro. I would need like 3 of those tiny Fiji waters. You're right, actually. I was going to choose the Fiji water.
I know, 'cause it has a cap.
Yeah, exactly. But the cap fit the other bottle, so it was perfect. And then, so anyways, I fill up this smart bottle of water. I jump into the shotgun, and then once I jump into shotgun, I'm like, bro, my boxers are soaked with piss. And then like, I was wearing these sweats. These are the same sweats I was wearing. So I was wearing these sweats. My boxers underneath are soaked. So I just fucking take off both my boxers and sweats, take my boxers, throw them in the back of the car. And luckily my sweats were like not wet at all. And I just put my sweats back on, and it was perfectly fine. But it was just such a weird night, because not only did the women, Michelle, like, you know, give us a random ticket, like, you know, just randomly, this whole pee situation happened. I think it was after the pee situation happened, I get another text from Michelle. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, oh, why is she texting me again? Because I already said thank you and all that stuff. She texts me, she goes, ha, you're Harmonious, man. Very cool. Remember me when you become super famous. Hope you guys are having a blast. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how the fuck did she find out I'm Harmonious, man? And I think it's because I gave her my No Jumper email, possibly. But that means she would have to recognize, that means she would have to watch No Jumper to know who I am. And then you don't have to be a light No Jumper fan. You have to be kind of like a heavy No Jumper fan to even know who I am. So I was like, dude, this is such a fucking like random coincidence. You know what I mean? And then the whole night I was worrying that I was like, dude, once one coincidence happens, usually more happens. And in my head I was like, what else is gonna happen today, dude? I was like, this is not gonna be a normal night. And then the whole pee situation happened. So that was honestly a very interesting night.
But the whole production was fun.
Oh yeah, at the end of the day, the whole Stranger Things thing was super fun. If we had not got the tickets for free, which was just
it would have been worth
it was by chance and by luck, it would have still been worth it to spend $150, $160 on those tickets, because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wait, if those tickets were $150, I think they were selling it for a $10 discount at that point, because it's $160 for a full car. So that's crazy. Those tickets are expensive.
Yeah. Well, I think they extended it too. So I think it was supposed to end like the first week of February, but I think
they made it go longer.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick. Did you notice? Do you ever look into the cars next to us? I was kind of doing that, like looking into the cars next to us, trying to see who else was like doing this shit. And I was trying to see like if
older people.
I was trying to see if anyone was doing it by themselves.
Was it anybody?
I didn't notice anyone, but I was gonna ask you if you noticed anyone.
Mm-mm.
Like, would anyone in the chat go do one of these things by themselves?
I probably would.
Like, would you watch a movie by yourself?
Yeah.
Go to a movie theater?
Yeah.
Really? You'd go to
I've been to a restaurant by myself.
you like a sit down restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, was it a really nice one?
No.
I've done that before too.
Well.
I've done that hella times. Just go to like a sit down restaurant, just like eat real quick
Yeah.
and dip. But like going to watch a movie by yourself, I feel like is a whole different thing. And then I feel like this is like the same
I
thing.
feel like I have done that once and it was really uncomfortable.
You've done it?
Yeah.
That's just go
I
watch.
think I've done that once when I lived in San Francisco.
Oh,
Like over
that's
the
so
summer.
sad.
I
You're just watching a
know, I
movie
was
by
just
yourself. That's so sad, dude.
I don't even remember the movie. I was probably like thinking the whole time, like
How sad it
this
is that
is
you. Oh my
sad.
god, dude. I honestly remember when Jackass, and actually no, when I think when Borat first came out, me and my mom was just like, Yuri, like we never hang out, let's find something to do. And I was like, I just saw Borat like advertised, and I was like, let's go watch Borat, please. And my mom was like, okay. So it's just me and my mom, and we go watch Borat together. And
fuck no.
dude, that was fucking. I was trying to lead that up to whatever you just said, but I forgot what you just said, and I just forgot where I was trying to lead to.
It's already awkward watching The Bachelor with my mom.
I feel like that's so normal.
No.
I don't feel like that's awkward.
Jordy watches it with us. Jordy loves The Bachelor.
What is like? Does he ever comment on it? Like, what does he say?
No, he'll just like he likes to
He
sit-
pays attention,
He just sits down with us like during The Bachelor.
but does he pay attention and watch it
I
and
think
go
he
like?
I think he does, like secretly.
Do you guys ever explain to him like, hey, it's abnormal for a guy to date 30 women, you know, and then marry one of them within
I
a
think
month?
He knows. He knows. He's not interested in girls at all. Right
What
now.
What if he grows up?
He's just into baseball and stuff.
But what if he grows up thinking like, I have to marry a woman within a month, and I have to date
No.
30 of them?
He would never feel like that.
What if?
He's definitely down for a good personality.
Well, let me ask you this: 20 years in the future, Jordy's the new Bachelor. How do you feel about it? Would you watch?
That's so weird.
Would you watch
Ew,
it?
I would not want to think about this.
Would you watch
I
it?
don't want to think about Jordy doing this. He's my little baby brother. He's
But
my little
20 years
sister.
from now, he's not no baby brother no more.
I know.
He's Big Jordy. Big
I
J.
don't want to think. I don't want to think about that day. I don't think
No,
about
but
it.
would you watch
I'm
the?
scared for 13. Like, I'm really scared about that.
Honestly,
day.
I remember.
Like, seeing Michael at this age is, like, fucking crazy.
I remember I could not fucking wait to turn 13 because when you're 12, you're still 12. When you're 13, you're a teenager. You're like 13, and I was like, dude, I remember I was so hyped to turn
Me
13.
too.
I was like, I'm a teenage. Exactly. I was like, fuck yeah, finally, life's different now. Sykes, shit's the same.
I was so hyped for that birthday. I was hyped for 10 too. I was like
Double digits. Yeah, I remember my sisters were telling me, they're like, you're in double digits now. It's a whole different thing. And I was
Me
just
too.
like, that's so
I remember
funny.
that was like a hyped ass birthday.
being I don't even remember do you remember any like your young birthdays? Like I don't remember any specific
I remember
memories.
one I had a costume party.
Like
And like it was super Halloween themed and
a
like
specific costume party.
yep, everybody had I
Oh.
don't remember what I was specifically, but I remember it was a costume party and we had like Halloween shaped treats and stuff, so it was fun.
Wait, let me push the mic right in front of your face. Sorry.
Yeah, that was my favorite
Oh.
my most favorite birthday.
Oh, can you pick it up? I'm sorry. I'm like making it worse.
I know.
I'm trying to make it better. Dude, you know what's funny?
Anyways, we had something else crazy happen this week.
Wait, before we get into this.
Wait, what were you gonna say? Sorry, I cut you off.
I remember when I was in second grade or
Mhm.
third grade, I went to a Halloween party in my elementary school, and like everyone was supposed to come dressed up as shit, right? Everyone was like skeleton, you know, Frankenstein, blah blah. I think I was Eminem. I chose to dress. For some reason, there's a picture.
In second grade.
There's a picture of me where I spray painted like my hair green for some. I don't know. Eminem doesn't even have green
I
hair. I
love
just spray painted
that.
my hair green,
Aw,
and I
you're
fucking
so
not spray
cute.
painted, but hairspray. And I had like a gold chain on, and I had a big ass white tee, and I was like, I'm Eminem or whatever. And I remember like one of my friends, I think his name was Tyler. He always just like super normal, chill guy, random. Uh, on this Halloween party, he shows up dressed up as a unicorn. And this was like when we were kids, like when you're not even just trying to be funny. Like he just came like just because he wanted to be dressed up as a unicorn, and I was just like, Tyler. I remember coming up to him, I was so confused. I came up to him, I was like, yo, Tyler, like, what's up with your costume? Like, why'd you want to be dressed as a unicorn? He was just like, I don't know, I just really like unicorns. And
That's so
and I fucking
cute.
remember this memory as a kid, just like thinking like, that's so weird. Like I would never dress as a unicorn. Like it was
Is
so
it
fucking
gay?
we were in second grade, so no one was like into that shit yet. But like, and I
Aw,
didn't keep
that's
I didn't keep up with
cute.
him to know what he's up to
He's
now.
innocent.
But it was just so funny. I was just like, okay, like he's a fucking unicorn.
He's cute. That's adorable.
Speaking of adorable,
Speaking of adorable unicorns.
of adorable unicorns, so we made this huge announcement last time where like I made a thing on my Instagram where I was like, huge announcement, this stream coming up, blah blah, and everyone thought we were having a baby. Everyone's like, oh, you guys have it's announcement.
Really?
Yeah, I remember everyone in the chat was like, oh, they're announcing a baby or some shit like that.
No.
Because it was just after our apartment, and I forgot what the thumbnail was, but I think the thumbnail was like a
Oh
question mark, like
my
who's added or something like that,
God,
and people thought it was a
no.
baby, and so, but we're doing it a little bit differently this time, where we're just saying it on 10 Talks because we didn't have 10 Talks yet, but we got Lola a while ago. I forgot when we got her. Do you remember?
I think we got her in September.
It was September. The first month I came in my head was September. It was like September 17th. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But basically, we've had her for like a while now, maybe like 4 or 5 months, 6 months or something like that. Maybe last September, we got our very first kitten, Lola. She's very cool. When we first got her, she was very wussy like cat. She was scared of everything. Would not do anything. Like if you placed her down like right here on the table, she would curl up into a ball and just stay there as long as possible until everyone left, and then she would like maybe go somewhere else into another corner and just curl up into a ball there, and that's all she did. She was so scared of everything, and now she's like a completely different person. She like runs the house now. She feels like
She's the queen.
she's the queen. Like she like growls at us. She's like very confident now. Like she walks all over the place. She knows she's very like comfortable here. And but since when we got her, you weren't working because we were talking about the COVID thing, how your salon was like, shut down for the time, and I was like still working, but you were at home a lot, and you were like, I need a buddy, I need a friend, and you wanted to get a dog, and I was like, no, we can't get I was like, we can't get a dog, but this is before we got Lola. But anyways, so we had to get Lola because of your loneliness, and also I wanted a cat too, so I really wanted a cat. But now you're starting to work again, and I'm also like working maybe even more now, so like
We've noticed Lola spends a lot of time by herself.
yeah, by herself at home alone, and we feel so sad. And even like on the holidays when we went up to the bay, to spend time with your family and stuff, like we leave her alone, and we just feel so bad. Like she's just so cats do get depressed, like when they feel lonely and shit, so we just felt bad. We felt like she needed a friend. So we contacted the same lady we got Lola from, and we tried to see if she had more kittens. She had 3 of them. She had a really young one that was the same color as Lola, a calico. She was like multicolored. And then she had another boy.
Super tiny and cute.
Yeah, she had a boy who he looked like a.
I
To me,
think he was a tabby, like a gray tabby.
To me, he looked like a sunflower seed.
He
Like
was super
if you ever
cute
look like
and
a sunflower
sweet.
seed with the lines through it, that's exactly. He kind of just
He
looked
looked
like a
like
gray.
a mini cat. Like he was
Really?
so cute. Yeah.
So they had like a little tiny calico girl, a boy, this guy they were talking about that's like gray and black, but he had like an eye infection at the time, or he thinks he's still dealing with it. And then they had the cat that we just got on Thursday, which is he's like what color is he?
He's buff. That's what she said.
That's a color.
That's what she told
So
me.
he's
buff.
when I sent the
Which
picture.
is like a tannish.
Yeah. But he's kind of orange in a way.
Yeah.
Like
he's
had.
like orange tan.
If you look at him, you'd be like, oh, I think he's orange, but he's so like it's like if you took orange and like turned the volume down, turned the saturation
It's
down
like a
all the way
nude.
down. Yeah, it's like a nude orange. Very, almost not even orange at all. Like
It's an interesting color.
yeah, that's why I really like them. As soon as I saw
he
him, I
was
was like,
different.
dude, I really fuck with this like color. It's like
Me
super
too.
unique and shit. So we got him. He was not the youngest of the bunch. He honestly looked.
He looked like Lola, like
He looked the same size as
Yeah,
Lola.
he
When we went there without Lola to be next to him to compare, he looked the same size. We thought they were getting maybe the same age cat, but when you lift them, back to back, you realize that he weighs like 1/3 her weight, and he's actually way tinier.
Super tiny,
Yeah, he's actually super
he's
tiny
like a
compared to her.
still.
She's big. She's not a tiny cat no more.
He's still like he's very.
Yeah, but I was
tiny.
gonna say he's tiny now, but for how young he is, he's pretty big. So I feel like when he gets older, he's gonna be a fucking big ass cat. And you can tell by his nose too, because his nose is so big. Like he has like a fucking defined ass nose. It's funny.
So cute though.
I'm excited to see how he's gonna look when he gets older. But anyway, so on Thursday we went to this lady called George's house to get another cat, and when we were going there, I was not expecting to see what we saw. She lives in a mansion.
Literally
Kinda.
in the
Not
hills.
in the hills. It's like right. She lives in an area that's very expensive to live in.
Yeah.
And not only is
we
it
were
very
like driving down. I was like, what the?
Yeah, same
fuck?
thing in my head. I was like, are we in the right? Is this the right address or something like that?
Oh shit, she's balling.
We went to her house. It was like a super, like, you have to be a millionaire to afford this fucking
Ballin'.
place. Like, it's a huge ass house, huge backyard. The area is really nice.
It was so nice.
And in her backyard, she has like this room that looks like a sauna room with a gate that's connected out, like, to extend it. And it's actually like a cat house or whatever, where she had these 3
adorable.
kids. And we spent like 30 minutes hanging out with them. And at first, the cat that we got, which his name is Luffie, the last cat, Lola, even though I agreed with her name and I really love her name, you chose her name. So I was telling Rylee, I was like, I really want to choose the next cat's name. And so I chose Luffie because of his color. And that was as soon as I saw him, that was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, he looks like Luffy's hat from One Piece. I was like, he looks like the exact same color. All we have to do is tie like a little red bandana around him, and then boom, he looks exactly like the hat, basically. But when we were spending time inside that little cat house, he was like kind of like he was kind of a scaredy cat. Like he was not.
He was the one hanging out with us the most.
But remember, once all the like. There's like the little house, and then like there's a little cat door that goes to the gated section, and then once we were in there for like 10 minutes, all the cats got tired of us basically, and they all fucking went outside, and the only cat to come back in was the kitten, the calico, and he would follow the calico. That actually like makes me sad because he would always follow her. They were so like close, but we adopted him basically. I don't think they were related to any of the other cats.
He was a different he was from a different bunch, but bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was from a different bunch, but he was very close to them, you could tell.
And so we got him, and it's like honestly a completely opposite experience of what we had with Lola.
So different.
So when they say when you get like a new cat, they say to keep it in like the smallest room in the house, usually the bathroom. Like keep a little kitty litter thing in there, keep some food and water, keep some toys, and let them get comfortable with the bathroom first. Then show maybe the bedroom, and then show them the living room, and then like you basically you're supposed to introduce a cat slowly to your apartment or house so they don't like get overwhelmed and they'll just hide under a fucking chair the whole time. You know what I mean? And then also keeping them in a small room gives you a chance to hang out with them and like for them not to just run away. So you guys can build some sort of friendship on top of it. When we kept Lola in the bathroom, she would just fucking stay behind the toilet the whole time and just be like
so scared.
Yeah, so scared. And if like I tried to reach my hand back there, she'd be like like hissing at me.
She would just scare me sometimes. I'd be like, okay, I'm not gonna even fuck with her.
She's never swiped at me. Every time I've picked her up, even if she's upset, she's never been like she's never actually swiped. She just hisses to tell you like her like don't pick me up, please. But like if you have to, you have to.
I know, but I've had bad cat experiences in the past. So Lola being my first cat and her like hissing at me scares me.
You got scared.
I was like, oh, okay.
I've had bad experiences with cats
I'll let
too.
You do your thing for a second.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, that's right. She's like, that's right, bitch.
I know.
Get out of here.
Okay, I do not want.
But and also,
the smoke.
it took her a long time, our cat Lola, to get comfortable with us. Like for a long time, we would. Rylee and I would separately spend like 30.
It took her like 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah, dude, remember we would spend like separately 30 minutes to an hour just sitting in the bathroom like this, waiting for her to like come out to like even smell you, and she would just stay away from you the whole time. You would literally have to take her out and like try to comfort her, like to even be comfortable with you or whatever. Like she was so scared of everyone and anything, any sound. Like she was such a scaredy cat.
It was
But
a lot of work.
yeah, it was a lot of work.
It
Yeah,
was
exactly.
so-
Honestly, it was a lot of work.
I was nervous for a second. I was like, oh my god, she like hates us.
As-
She doesn't come out at all.
and I was nervous too because you wanted a dog, and then like since I was like, let's get a cat, and then like now we got a fucking difficult ass cat. I was like, oh, now Riley's gonna hate cats because Lola's like all
No.
difficult and shit.
It was worth
The work.
yeah, because I feel like she needed somebody like that.
Yeah,
You know?
imagine someone else, like some snooty
What-
dude getting this
I
cat and being like, I don't want
know.
to deal with this, like get out of here or whatever, some shit like that, and like giving
She was
her
meant
away.
to be ours. I knew it from the moment I saw her.
Uh-huh.
I was like, she looks different. She looks like the Giants, and it reminded me of San Francisco. So I was like,
The Giants?
yeah, because their colors are black and orange. I was like, okay, it reminds me of San Francisco. This is home.
That's funny.
And she's the cutest cat ever. She was so sweet. She just like wrapped up in our arms, and she was so shy.
At the pet store.
Yeah.
I think it's because she was fucking terrified there. As soon as we put her home, she was not fucking with us
I
at
know.
all.
But this cat is totally the opposite.
Yes.
He is very confident.
He also craves and really needs like social interaction where like
He needs to play.
the very first day we brought him home, I had to go
He wanted to be
I had
out.
to poop. I had to go use the restroom, so I went to go use the restroom and poop. And we had to do the same thing with Lola. And when I went to go use the restroom with Lola, she would fucking hide away and like not
He's
even get
so
close to me.
scared.
When I'm like when I was sitting there with him, I sent Riley a video where he was like climbing up my boxers up my leg, and he was like, I'm like, my pants are down, so he's like
Mhm.
putting his claws in my thigh, and I'm like, bro, chill. And like I kept putting him down, and then at one point I was like, okay, let me see where he's trying to go. So I let him go, and then he just wanted to sit down on my lap, and I'm like, bro, I'm pooping, dude, like get out of here.
Ew.
Dude. But he just wants
I
to sit on your
know.
lap, like it's so cute.
He just wants attention.
This is honestly what we were craving for when we got Lola. It was just like a pet who wants like, you know,
to chill with us.
and like wants attention.
But he wants a lot of attention.
He wants a lot of attention. Where Lola,
Which is-
you can, even now that she's older, but even back in the day, you can close her in whatever room you want, and she'll
Chill.
be like, okay, perfect, leave me alone. You know, like this is
Mhm.
what I wanted. But with him, you close him in any room, and he's just like, yeah, like he wants someone to be.
I think that's the difference between the boys and the girls.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the girls are more independent and boys are more like playful.
I was talking with I remember I told you I was talking with Alan, and I think he told me that he has a boy and a cat girl also. I think he was telling me that they have the same personalities,
Yeah.
where his boy cat's like the same way as ours, and his girl cat's the same way as well.
I'm thinking the same thing.
And that's why when we went to
Which I love Luffy too. Like his personality is so fun.
right,
It's like
He's
it's so nice to have two different personalities. Like Lola's such a chill cat, and Luffy's just such a playful cat where you can have fun with him and like.
yeah, and like he like doesn't get annoyed.
Yeah,
like,
he's just
it's so hard to
chill.
piss him off. Like
Mhm.
Lola, it's so easy to make her irritated. Like
mad.
when I pick her up, I'm like,
She's
like
a
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm
princess.
like fucking like so careful with her when I pick her up
No,
because I
she's
don't
a
want to make her
princess.
angry. And then him, you could just be like, not that I ever did this, but you could do what you could just be basically be like, think, and then he just like. Like he
He's
just
like,
doesn't care. He's like, yay, like
He's
you
just
picked
so
me up.
happy.
Yeah, exactly. He's just
He's
hyped
so
that you're interacting
adorable.
with him.
He's so adorable.
So that's a huge announcement. We got a new kitty, and his name is Luffy.
Luff McGuff,
Luff McGuff. That's what Riley's been calling him.
Lufferson,
She called the.
Jackerby,
She named. Yeah, she named Lola, and I started calling Lola Broccoli. And
Lynn,
You called it Lola Lynn. You
Lola Lynn,
said Lola Lynn. I say little
Lola Broccoli Lynn,
I say Lola. What I say?
Loli Broccoli
Lola
Lynn.
Bear. I say a bunch of random shit.
Lola Pepita,
But it's funny because
Lolita Pepita,
Lolita Popita. Yeah, I always say Lolita Popita, 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 and I just like keep going as much as I can. But it's funny how I come up with nicknames for your cat, and you're coming up with nicknames not for your cat, but for the cat you named, and you're coming up with nicknames for the cat I named. Because I was not thinking of any nicknames. I was trying to get used to calling him Luffy.
Luffy's difficult to say for me sometimes, so I'm just like Luffs McGuffs, Lufferson.
I can't wait till he reacts to his name. Like
They're
Lola.
Luffersons.
Lola now, I bet you she hears us saying her name, and she's like, they're talking about me, or some shit like that. But I want him to be like Luffy, and I want him to turn around and stuff like that.
But to update you on the introduction of the two cats, Lola is not feeling it right now.
Yeah, and honestly, you know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if
Send tips.
if we had switched positions. Like, imagine we had got Luffy first, and then right now we got Lola. I wonder if Luffy would react to Lola the way he is, or if Lola would still be the way, like, I wonder if it's just Lola's personality, or if it's the fact that it's the cat that owns the house. You know what I mean? Like, or has been the house first.
I think it's the territorial thing, but I feel like Luffy would be more chill. Because Lola's already sassy.
I feel like Luffy would be like, all right, touch me and I'll fuck you up, but I'll let you be. Yeah, just go ahead. But Lola's like, I don't even want to see you. Like, get out of my sight.
Lola's like, fuck this.
And there's moments where I feel like I know Lola's personality, where I feel like I can just place her down next to Luffy, and Riley's like, no, like, don't trust it.
Yeah,
and then
I'm like, I know Lola. Like, I know Lola so well. Like,
I feel like that too, but I was wrong,
like,
because
she's a person.
she didn't attack Luffy earlier, but earlier we spent like a couple hours trying to introduce them, like feed them together and do all these different things, and we were trying to like
take her a minute.
Yeah, it's gonna take her a minute, but we were trying to pet them together and like just have them play together or whatever, or play at separate times, like in the same room. And there was a moment where they were playing on separate parts of the room, and I was like telling Rylee, like, hey, I'm gonna put Lola down, I think it'll be fine. And I have this like water spritzer, and they both hate water, so I was like, if they even get close to each other, I'll just spritz Lola or Luffy, whoever's attacking, with water, and they'll just run away. And then Lola was chilling, and then 2 seconds later she just darts right at, she just goes like right fucking at him. I was like, oh my god,
it was like slow motion.
Jesus Christ, she was like planning, like, what was she gonna do, dude? Like, bite him or something?
I know, because every time she sees him, she goes down like she's going to attack a toy.
I know, yeah, right. She like does the wiggle butt, the butt
like,
wiggle thing.
No, he's not fucking attackable.
You know what's funny?
He's your brother.
You know what's funny about the cat butt wiggle is whenever you watch skate videos and a person's skating, before they do a trick, their back foot, whatever foot's on the tail, they go. Like, they just like wiggle their foot. Like, it's weird, because in reality it doesn't do anything, but it feels like it like sets you in and like puts you perfectly into a thing where before I do a trick I'll go, or like I'll just like wiggle one of my feet, you know what I mean? Like, and it's funny to see
good luck.
Not even good luck. If to me personally,
it's like a bat, or like swinging a bat, like a baseball. Like, he like does that little.
Oh, really?
You know, with the bat.
To me, it feels like I'm when I wiggle my foot, I'm pushing all the sand out, and there's like a couple inches where it's just pure rubber to grip, and it feels like it's like.
Yeah, I feel like that's.
It's like perfect.
It feels like it's setting you up.
Yeah, it feels like it's setting me up. And it's funny to see that Lola and Luffy go like wiggle their butts before they go to attack. So it reminds me of skating, like wiggling your foot before you try to do a trick.
It's adorable, and I can't wait till like they get along and be adorable together.
That's what I can't wait for. I can't wait for. That's what's difficult right now. Is like we have to continuously keep them separated, so like that there's no. I don't want Luffy to have a bad interaction with her where she like fucks him up. So we've been keeping them basically separate, other than like today where we tried. This is day 3 or day 4. So today we tried to play with them in the same living room. So today we were trying to get them a little bit closer, but we've already been trying for days of trying to like feed them on separate sides of a door and like trying to get them used to each other's scents. But Lola's still not fucking with Luffy, and yeah, today we're trying to do that shit. But I just can't wait till we can just let them be in the house, the whole house or the whole apartment, and not have to like keep them separated, because it takes so much work to do it. And Luffy, like. He reminds me of me, because like his goal is not, he doesn't have a goal. His goal is to break whatever rules you're setting up, and if you tell him no, don't go in that room, he's like, I want to go in that room, even if he's like already like, oh, I love this room, I'm chilling in this room. As soon as you're like close the door, you're like, hey, even if the door's open and he's like sleeping on the bed, as soon as you close the door, he's like, I want to go out there. It's
he
like,
has
bruh.
FOMO.
FOMO? Yeah, you're right. he does have FOMO. That was me as a kid.
And Lola's like, no.
Get the fuck out of here.
How dare you? She's like,
I wish.
I'm like,
I wish I could understand Lola. Babe, you know what we should do? You know what we should do for a stream? We should try to get in contact with a cat whisperer and have them talk to Lola.
Yep, I agree.
Oh my god.
With the famous cat whisperer.
Imagine the cat whisperer's like, yeah, Lola's telling me that she wants you guys to know a little bit more about cat info, and I'm actually selling a book about cats, and it's $49.99, and Lola's saying that it's actually a really good price. She just upsells to
20% off tonight.
Because I really fuck with you guys, and you really need help with your cat, blah blah. And if you really like that book, I have 5 other series that have to do with this situation.
Oh hell no! Click. I'll hit him with that click.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should
Interview a cat whisperer,
not
or have a cat whisperer on?
talk to a cat whisperer just to be like, hey, this is gonna be on live stream, but
our cats aren't fucking with
our
each
cats
other.
aren't fucking with each other, and I want you to talk to Lola and tell her that Luffy's cool and he's a friend.
Cat.
He's a good cat.
He's a good kitty.
That'd actually be really funny. Imagine she charges us like $300 for that phone call.
Damn.
Why do I think it's a she?
I've been watching this guy who had a TV show that was like My Cat is a Nightmare or something. And it was like about evil fucking cats, and he goes to like people's houses and like tries to tame them and shit.
Babe,
and I've been watching his videos on cat introductions to each other or whatever. I forgot what his name is though.
My parents have told me stories in Russia of how like my parents, when I was a kid, I used to be like a stupid fucking kid, dude. And I used to have my old cat, Mr. Whiskers, who's I've had my whole life, and he passed away. I think it was a year ago when we just started dating. He passed away basically like a year ago. We had him for 20 years. I got him when I was in 2nd grade, and he passed away when I was like 8 years out of high school. So I had him like my whole ass fucking life. And when I was a kid, I was a fucking stupid kid, and I would be like chasing him around the house and trying to be like trying to bug him and shit like that. And my parents would tell me, like, my mom would be like, yo, don't fuck with cats because they remember shit and they'll want to get you back and fuck you up. And my mom would tell me stories of how like there'd be other people who would like be torturous to their cats, and their cats would like claw their eyeballs out while they're sleeping and do basically fuck you up, dude. Like they do not fuck around. Like cats do fucked
vicious.
Up shit.
They are wild animals for real.
I think I've told you this story before, but this proves my point. Where
they are way different than dogs.
100%.
Fucking way different.
I've had one dog, and 100% dogs.
Which I love cats for this reason though.
And honestly,
they're so interesting to
the
me.
reason why they're different is the reason why I don't like dogs.
I love dogs too.
Dogs have too much energy for me.
I love dogs. Don't get me wrong.
And
but I like how interesting these cats are because they're such like wild animals.
Can I just say that right now, I maybe just living in LA, but I've noticed that I've said this in front of many different groups of people, and I've noticed that every time I say this, it's basically like saying, and I'm like, this is just an exaggeration and an example, but this is basically like whenever I say this, like whenever I say, hey, I actually don't really like dogs, people act like I'm saying like, hey, I fuck with pedophiles or something like that. Like people take it like, so offensive. Like the people are like, oh, you're a shitty person then. Oh,
they're
that's
like,
probably because dogs.
Into the holes.
They try to like make you feel bad.
I know.
I've had people tell me.
Trip the fuck out of you.
I've had people tell me like, oh, it's probably because they don't like your personality or like shit like that. And I'm like, no, like me personally, I like how cats like to be by themselves. You know what I mean? Like they kind of like having their own moments. They can entertain themselves. Dogs are just like in your face all the time.
I get that. My mom does not like animals at all. Any type of animal, she's like, nope. My dad is like such an animal lover. Any type of animal, reptile, fish.
That's true. He does have hella fish.
Anything.
His aquariums are fire.
We had bearded dragons, puppies, everything. I tried to have a cat, but it just didn't work out between us. He like fucking attacked me.
How long did your relationship with your cat last?
I think like 2 weeks. He attacked me multiple times.
That's way too short, babe.
I was like, I love him, and he was like.
You were probably like squishing him. You were probably like, I love you.
I was like, I love him. He's like.
Yeah, he's probably like, help me.
I know.
Fucking scratching your face for air.
And my mom was like, Oreo ran away. I was like, oh my god.
You want to hear a fucked up story? I used to have a bearded dragon, right? Had him for like I think a year. Had him for a long ass time. I remember my friends would stop by, people who would like work in my apartment building and have to do like annual checkups. They would stop by and be like, "Oh, that's a sick lizard." Like I was hyped on my lizard. I had like a sick ass little terrarium for him and shit, little setup. But like I said, I always had my friends stop by when I was younger and shit. And we would hang out and I would show them my lizard. And then one day my lizard is fucking gone. He disappears.
No.
And then I first thought that came in my head, I was like, fucking Whiskers ate my fucking lizard, dude. I forgot his name already. So I go inside my cage because I can't see him, and I was looking for paw prints, and I can't see any paw prints. So I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, what happened to my? I was asking my parents. My parents didn't know anything. I fucking flipped everything in the house looking for his body. Could not find this fool, and I was just like, what the fuck happened to my lizard, dude? And like I just let it be. And it was like I think I was in 10th grade or 11th grade at the time, and I was just like, all right, dude, like I don't care, you know what I mean? Like, not that I don't care. I was just like, it's a mystery. It's a cold case, and I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to.
Case closed.
I'm not gonna be able to solve this shit. My lizard's gone. Years later, I had a best friend growing across the street. Her name was Lana, right? Like, we grew up together like for a long ass time, and she would stop by my house. We'd hang out sometimes. Fucking years later, I see her, and then like I forgot. I think I brought up the lizard thing, and she tells me she's like, oh yeah, she's like, whenever I stopped by, she's like, I felt so bad for your lizard that you had him contained in this fucking thing. And I was like, that thing was sick. It was like a big ass box, had a light, had all these fucking fake rocks and fake trees and shit. She's like, one day I stopped by, she's like, I grabbed the lizard and released them outside. And this was like 5 years later, and I was just like, why the fuck would you do that, dude? Number one, bearded dragons are like $100.
Yeah.
They're like expensive. And number two, I'm like, what the fuck,
That was
dude?
my pet.
That was my pet, dude. Like, why the fuck are you gonna release my... I was just like, dude, like, what the
That's
fuck,
kinda
dude?
weird.
I was just like, bruh. It was so random, and I was just like, case closed, but I was just like, my fucking bearded dragon's gone, dude.
He's free now.
But you know what's funny? That whole time, I honestly thought I was like Whiskers took him out of his cage, low-key, like, reached his neck and took him out and ate him whole. And the whole time I was like, damn, I can't believe my cat ate my lizard whole. Like, I remember that was always my thought in my head. And then I was just like, fuck, dude.
And then she like randomly told you one day.
Yeah, and then like I was just like, bro, really? Like, what the fuck? Whatever. R.I.P. fucking forgot his name.
Wow.
R.I.P. lizard
I
that
had
I
a lot
forgot.
of lizards too.
Do you remember any of their names?
No.
You see, so I can't feel bad about it either. You can't remember. Damn, is that fucked up though? Is that almost like forgetting your kid's name?
Yeah, I guess.
Imagine we forget Lola's name.
I would never forget Lola.
I would never forget Whisker's name either. It's so
Yeah,
easy
exactly,
to remember.
'cause we're like older now, and you had him like
That's
at a
true.
memorable age.
That's true. Honestly, yeah, it might have been.
And you probably didn't have your lizard for long.
Honestly, it might have been even. I might have been even in like middle school to high school. It was like super young, so that's when I also was not very responsible. So maybe she did the right choice letting this fool go. Fucking lizard, dude. R.I.P.
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 all the animals
Wait, hold on. Let me.
I had in the past.
I don't want to bring
That's
it
really
up.
fucking sad, actually.
Yeah, I don't want to
They
bring
were
it.
honestly traumatizing experiences.
I don't want to bring it up, but you've told me.
Like really fucking bad.
You told me
experiences.
about your.
Yeah, fucked up, dude.
But you know, I was gonna say.
And that's why I take care of my fucking animals. You know.
Dude, we just have to be. Hell.
I'm just really nervous.
With
I
Lola.
would feel like a mom.
Yeah, same. Well, not like a mom. I feel like a dad.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I honestly do feel like that guilt where like I'm like I want to have time to spend with just them.
I
You know what I mean? Just
know.
like playing a toy. But then you know what's funny, when we were playing with Luffy, in my head I was just like, what was the last time we did this with Lola? I felt so
know.
bad.
I do it sometimes, like when I'm chilling
I felt
by
so.
myself.
I remember when we first got Lola, and we got the laser pointer, we got all these
I'll do
toys,
the laser pointer
and she was so playful.
No,
and then
she's
like,
all chunky.
and then now she's all.
She's always been kind of lazy though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Even back in the day,
She was never
if you-
like super
even
playful.
when she was even at her most playful stages, when you did the laser thing, she would play with it for a little bit. Luffy, now if you do the laser thing, he's gonna chase it. If you put on the
He looked like a
ceiling,
race
he's
car
gonna be
track.
yeah, he's gonna go everywhere,
Didn't
dude.
not he looked like a race car track today.
Which- Honestly, it's good that he's so playful and interested, because it's easy to tire him out. You just go like.
yeah, it's
Like,
like
fucking go back and forth. You know. Actually, this thought came in my head earlier too. Is when we were looking for toys for Lola, we were looking at the automatic laser pointer, and I was like, this is not gonna work on Lola. Lola needs it to be like hiding and like all
She's
interactive.
hella bougie.
But I was like, this would work on Luffy. He would not give a fuck. He'd be if he just went in circles the whole for 8 hours, he'd be chasing it.
Lola is picky as fuck.
Yeah.
She did not fuck with Rachel Ray's cat food.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Did we ever talk about that?
I don't think so.
Basically, I'm pretty sure. I feel like everyone knows about Fools Gone Wild, but Fools Gone Wild is an Instagram page. I don't want to explain what it is, but it's a very funny Instagram page. It's basically they clown shit. It's all about jokes. Like nothing they post
It's
is
a joke.
yeah, nothing they post is very like, sometimes they'll post like certain serious shit, but it's mostly about clowning or jokes and shit. and they reposted a clip from Rachel Ray's cooking show where she's making pozole, and I don't even know what pozole is, but
it's a Mexican soup.
It's a Mexican soup, and then Rachel Ray's like putting
honey, cinnamon,
yeah, like cinnamon and shit, and like I don't even know what goes in pozole, but like I saw like the comments and the way they were clowning her. Basically, she was
everybody's like, what the fuck, honey? Nobody puts honey.
Yeah, exactly. They're basically saying that she makes like the white version of like whatever this soup is, and it's like completely trash and no one would ever want it. And I was just thinking like, oh, that's so funny. And then like in my head I was thinking like, chefs do like use different ingredients, you know, depending on what chef it is, and I was thinking like it might still be good, blah blah.
She's still like a famous chef.
Yeah, still famous chef. She's not famous for no reason. And then
I'm going shopping one day at the grocery store or whatever, and I have to pick up cat food for Lola, and they're out of the regular cat food
that we
get
always
for her.
get.
And I see Rachel Ray's cat food, and I was like, oh my god, like I'll ball out on Lola tonight.
It was expensive too?
Yeah, it was expensive.
Oh my.
And so I was like, fuck it, whatever. Like,
she deserves it.
Yeah, she'll love it. So I get it for her, and
she fucking hated it. And
she did not even, she smelled it and like walked away.
Usually when we put food for Lola, she goes like she fucking like eats it so quickly and it's gone in a second. Like it's just gone. She's licking the plate.
Anything.
And she licks the plate. We don't even have to wash the fucking plate. Like like honestly, she like licks it clean. Like anything left on it, she licks. Rylee fed her the fucking Rachel Rays, and Lola came over, smelt it, and like ate a couple bites and just like walked away. She's like, I'm just gonna starve. Like fuck this.
She'd rather starve.
And she's so hungry. She loves to eat. And she was just like, and what's even funnier is whenever Rylee cooks, Rylee could be like chopping onions, and a fucking piece of onion falls, and Lola's just gonna come and like start eating that shit until we were like, no, stop it or whatever.
So bad.
Oh really? Go for
sorry.
it. Basically anything that Rylee drops on the anything that hits anything that hits the floor, Lola runs over to eat it fucking immediately. It could be plastic, like she's gonna be start fucking like trying to chew on it. So we have to be very careful about like what we drop on the floor. This Rachel Ray shit, dude, Lola was not fucking with it at all. And honestly, dude, I really have to pee as well. This is giving me terrible flashback nightmares of what the fuck happened last night in the story we were telling earlier. But let me open up the chat since Rylee went to the bathroom and I just want to have like a whole conversation by myself because that'd be slightly weird. So let me just open up the chat and see what you guys are saying. You have pig feet too? Wait, what? BD is goat, but the US it's beef. What the fuck? You're talking about Night Stalker? Yuriy be eating chitlins? What the fuck is a chitlin, dude? She like a vacuum cleaner? Fucking facts. Feels like you. She literally is like a vacuum cleaner. Like that meme where people are like, "Oh, my dog was just cleaning up." I could say that about Lola, dude. I used to have a bearded dragon, bro. RIP all the fucking bearded dragons, dude. What a cool lizard. That, dude. I didn't even mention how I found my bearded dragons, which is a funny story. I was leaving. Leaving. Oh well. This is when I was living with my parents. I was leaving my apartment to go skate one day. Leaving my apartment, about to jump on my board, look to my right, and I see an aquarium. I'm like, what the fuck? And I see something in the aquarium. I walk over, and it's just an empty aquarium with no sand, no nothing. And I just look over, and it's an aquarium with 2 bearded dragons. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I look around, and no one's around, and I think I just sat there for like 4 or 5 minutes waiting for someone to show up. No one showed up, and I was like, oh fuck! And I called my mom. I'm like, hey mom, like there's these 2 lizards outside.
Sorry, dude.
No, it's fine. I was just telling them. Did I tell you how I got my bearded dragon?
No, wait, I think you did, but I don't know.
I was just saying how random it was. Like I was basically leaving my parents' house to go skate one day, like just down the street to go to Plumber Park. I was really just about to hop on my board. I look over to my right and I see an aquarium, and it's just a empty aquarium with no sand, no like nothing's in it. And I just see like these 2 like things in it, like just a completely glass aquarium. And I was like, what the fuck? I walk over, look at it, and it's 2 bearded dragons, like one big one and one baby one. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what are these, like, 2? I didn't even know it was a bearded. I didn't even know what a bearded dragon was at this point. I just saw 2 lizards, like 2, like one big one and one small one, and they're all spiky and shit. And I was like, what the fuck? And I looked around, no one was around, and I literally just like sat there for like 5-10 minutes. Well, I think it was like 5-6 minutes, and I was like waiting for someone to show up. No one showed up, and I was just like, I called my mom. I was like, hey mom, I went to go skate, and I there's an aquarium outside and it has 2 lizards inside of it. I was like, what should we do? Like, should we grab it? Like, I feel bad just leaving these fools in this fucking glass box out here. And my mom's like, hold up, let me call my friend. And my mom has she has this homegirl. I forgot her name. She has this homegirl, and her and her husband have like a parakeet, and they have like a lizard. They have all these fucking random animals. So she's like, hold up, I'm gonna call my homie or my friend. So she calls this guy. This guy calls me. He's like, let me see a picture of these fools. I send him a picture. He tells me they're bearded dragons. He's like, hey, can I have one of them? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, this shit's just fucking on the street. I'm like, come pick it up. So he picks up the big one, and I asked my mom, like, can I keep the small one? So we kept the small one.
Aww.
And that was the one we kept. I forgot his name, dude. I feel bad.
Like that's how we're so much alike.
What, you would just like
animals
rescue
like
a random
that.
animal like that?
Yeah, I'd be like, Mom. She'd be like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Rylee.
I was telling you that I wanted to grab the coyote the other day. You were
Fuck
like, no.
Okay, those are scary.
That's you. You know what they say? You fear what you don't know.
My coworker was saying that she likes that sound, like the howling sound at night.
Really?
I was like, ooh, okay.
That's
like,
funny.
No, they scare me.
I think I was telling you that I kind of like.
They actually really fucking scare me.
Of coyotes?
Just
They-
their look creeps me out.
They do look creepy, but dude, they're unlike they're not like raccoons where
Ew,
they know
raccoons are creepy too.
raccoons, like, they will waste their time to like fuck with a human, even though they know. I'm not sure if they know or not, but they're gonna fuck with you. They're gonna try to attack you. Coyote is most likely not gonna try to attack you because he's like, hey, you're too big to eat and you're gonna be too much work. So they're most likely not. And also in my head, I've thought about this many times because I've had to deal with coyotes before. In my head, I'm like, if a coyote ever tries to attack me, I'm just gonna fucking kick it as hard as I can in the head, dude. I just
Really?
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to act like way bigger than them?
If he's running towards me like Lola was running towards Luffie earlier,
Oh, fuck
I'm
yeah.
fucking kicking that shit in the head, dude. You can't give me shit for
Ew,
that.
No, they're scary as fuck. Yeah,
bro.
kick them in the head.
Can I wait? I also really have to use the bathroom, so I feel like we should just end the 10 talks here at this point. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into episode 8 of 10 talks.
Yay!
And this one, honestly, this is,
even though it was random, it was really fun.
it was random. We were supposed to have house phone on. We rescheduled it, and this is honestly an ode to us keeping our consistency, because neither of us, because of the how busy we were and all the stuff we're dealing with,
We were like, oh my
we
God.
didn't really have the inspiration like to do this one. But I was like telling Rylee, I was like, yo, like, this is where it's easy to say like, oh, we're consistent until you don't feel like doing it and you have to do it. And then I'm like, no, like, I was like,
Yeah,
if we're
it's,
gonna
like,
do it
fun.
today, I was like, let's not do it at 2 or 3 like we usually do. So that's why we did it way later. I was like, let's just do it at like 6 or 7. So that's why we did it way later at 7 p.m. this time. And we started at 7, and I'm glad we did it.
Me too.
I feel way better.
It was fun.
I would have felt
I
would've
glad
felt
we did
so
it 'cause
bad.
It was way more fun than I was assuming it was gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm tired. I just want to like chill.
Yeah.
But, like, it was fun to just chill and talk to you.
Likewise.
I love
Honestly,
you.
what's funny? I've seen Adam do. I don't like. I'm not exactly saying who, but I've seen Adam do interviews with certain people like in his life that I don't think have become public, but like I've seen him do certain interviews with people at the podcast table with the whole setup and everything, with Josh doing the switcher, like us recording or whatever, and with certain people in his life that he's very close to, like such as Lena, or like, it's not specifically Lena, but as close as Lena would be, and he doesn't put them out. And I think I was there for some of the recordings of like a couple of them, and I remember thinking like, this is such a unique situation, because when do you really sit down with your dad or your mom or like your sister, your brother, and be like, hey, have a whole conversation? So like, I was thinking like how it's, even especially your girlfriend or your wife, you know what I mean, like how often
We're gonna look back on these and be like,
it feels like in every relationship you talk a lot in the beginning. You spend a lot of time talking, but then later in the relationship you kind of like
have a lot of silence.
you start getting into the groove of things, of like
Yeah.
working and like doing other stuff, and
There's
like
a lot of silent moments.
yeah, there's a lot of silent moments, and then like it's almost difficult to even have a moment where you're talking specifically for
Yeah.
an hour or two. So it's like, I'm glad that we do this, because I feel like it makes us closer too.
Yeah, I love it. It's what I look forward to in the week.
Cheers.
I think I might have one sip.
Wait, that's bad luck, isn't it?
I think I have a sip
Here,
in
drink
here.
that one, and I'll drink this.
Wow.
This is energy.
He has this whole thing.
I'm a what's it called, babysitter.
I know, you're a babysitter.
Cheers
Cheers.
to episode 8. which
Episode
I'm
8.
really
8 is great. My favorite number.
8 is great, and I feel like this is also one of our. I always say this, but this I feel like is one of our best
feel like
because I feel like we get better every time, and I feel like this is one of our best episodes
I
yet.
think so too.
So, to
Uphill,
episode 8.
baby.
We're not ending the stream just yet. Are you down to do a little bit of an after show? Chill for a
I'm
second.
down.
Okay,
I'll
so
pull up the chat.
thank you guys so much for watching. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of 10 Talks every Sunday around 2 to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll see you guys.